Casual gaming, a very generic and very unique form of gaming. It is unique because the people who do casual gaming don't realize that what they are doing is actually casual gaming. Because they do gaming for fun and for just having a chill time, which is completely fine. And there is nothing wrong in that. Because gaming is meant to be fun, and playing casual games doesn't make anyone a less of a gamer. But no, some absolute anti-woke so-called real gamers like Pick Me Watson have got a problem with this too. They have a problem with women main characters, they have a problem with black main characters, and now these fucks have a problem with casual gamers too. Oh, casuals are ruining the gaming culture. They are not real gamers. Listen, fuckwits. The only kind of people who are ruining the gaming community are anti-woke degenerated scum YouTubers like Synthead Dickman, Andy Pants Gaming, Melanie Mac, and Vara Dark. Because these fucks spew too much hate for women, LGBTQ community, and black folks in the name of fighting against so-called wokeness 24/7. You cucks cross the limits of being a piece of shit in your each and every video. So you fucks are the last people who should call casual gamers fake gamers. It's you who are fake gamers, not them, assholes. And let me tell you the meanings of real and fake gamers too. Though I have already made a video on this topic, but I will explain it once again. Real gamer is a person who plays video games or video game. It doesn't matter what the genre is, as long as they have fun and as long as they don't complain about women characters being ugly, they don't whine about characters being LGBTQ. Basically, real gamers don't have a anti-woke mindset. But a fake gamer is the exact opposite of this. A fake gamer barks and spreads hate for women and other minorities. Perfect example I have already given you. A fake gamer is a misogynistic and a homophobic piece of shit. Casual gamers are not fake gamers. Anti-woke scumbags are because all they do is spread toxicity and bigotry in the gaming community. And they have the audacity to call casual gamers fake gamers. Dumb fucks. And it is known that women are actually more into casual and cozy games, so it totally makes sense that why you fucks hate them. Anything which women love and enjoy burns your ass. And this is exactly why you cucks are pushing the brainless gaming is dead narrative. Because more and more women are getting into gaming, which is exactly why you fucks are anti-gaming, assholes. Okay, so now let's understand cozy gaming in detail. Socialization with NPCs or with other humans is important, and it's almost always of an agreeable nature. In cozy games, it's best to be nice. NPCs who are disagreeable in some way are usually played for comic effect. Aesthetics are usually, though not always, colorful or pastel-hued. Jolly nursery music tends to roll in the background. Peril is almost non-existent. Such games have been with us since at least Natsume's Harvest Moon 1996, followed by the first of Nintendo's Animal Crossing games 2001. Indie hit Stardew Valley arrived on PC in 2016 and has been ported to all major platforms, while being expanded enormously. The recently intense popularity of cozy games is generally dated to the release of Nintendo's Animal Crossing New Horizons, which swept through the world at exactly the same time as the global pandemic lockdowns, becoming one of the most popular games of all time. Nintendo Switch remains a favorite platform for those consumers inclined towards cozy, wholesome games. On PC, Steam now lists dozens of games under its cozy rubric, only a handful of which were released prior to 2020. Dozens more are listed as coming soon. Speaking to 3 developers who have recently released cozy games, it's clear that there is genuine desire to both map and replicate the essential features of coziness, while innovating enough to stand out in an increasingly crowded field. All the developers we spoke to agreed that cozy games are best defined by how they make you feel rather than via mechanics or looks. It's certainly true that few other genres are named for a feeling. First-person shooter and turn-based strategy are not feelings. Cozy certainly is, and cozy is always a good feeling, evoking cuddles on the couch with pets, children, and significant others. Robert Tatnell is the solo developer of the recently released Hoko Live, available on PC, and inspired by Animal Crossing. He says coziness is the understanding that humans are social creatures. We strive to be a part of a group and to be accepted. But being sociable can be difficult in the real world. It can be exhausting. In cozy games, the barriers come down. We can be part of a group without having to be stressed. The characters we meet are warm and welcoming, and it's an easier way to enjoy a fundamentally human feeling. Luca Lescure is a co-founder at Montreal-based Al Bloon, which recently released The Spirit and the Mouse. It's an exploration game in which a mouse does favors for people. He says he's comfortable with the label cozy, so long as it doesn't limit the genre's potential. People need a label right now so they can understand that the game is different. He says it's non-violent, but the label may disappear in a few years because it will become normal for everyone to play those types of games. Joint co-founder Alexander Strukov adds, people get depressed and they need to relax. This has always existed in gaming, but it was a less marketable idea in the past. Now we recognize that it's an important part of playing games. Ali Ast is founder and creative director of Sundew Studios, which recently released Witchy Life Story, a game about crafting potions and spells. I spend a lot of time on Instagram with communities that love and celebrate cozy games, she says. Sometimes it's surprising to find the kind of games that they celebrate. The latest Zelda game, Breath of the Wild, has combat in it. But people love the sense of exploration and being in that world. Sometimes I see players talk about those same elements in Skyrim. In both cases, you spend a lot of time roaming around and enjoying the scenery, meeting people, crafting, and that's the feeling that cozy games give us, despite the combat. Creating games in which problem resolution eschews violence is not as easy as it sounds. The Spirit and the Mouse mainly involves exploration, item collection, and puzzle solving. Lescure says that picking a non-threatening animal protagonist, a mouse, was a deliberate decision. Killing enemies is the basic stuff that keeps people engaged in a lot of games. When you decide to turn away from that, you have to find a greater variety of ways to constantly engage players, and that's not easy. Likewise, cozy games tend to append the standard psychological prompt of impending failure, in which peril is a near constant. Tatnell tells a story about an important lesson he learned about cozy game design. When I was designing Hokko Life, I played around with the idea of the player having limited stamina which needed to be replenished, but it felt too stressful. As a result, Tatnell abandoned this idea entirely. He adds, punishing the player by saying, oh, you went too far, or you did too much, that's not what cozy games are about. Which is escaping stress triggers and relieving threats, peril, and stress. A genre targeting a gender. Discussion of gender and cozy games can easily devolve into tired gender essentialism. The limited patriarchal view of women scans closely with the profile of cozy games. Nurturing, social, creative, and empathetic. A tangle knot that is far beyond the scope of this article. A recent study showed marked genre preferences between genders. Cozy games were not featured, but the two genres in which women made up a majority were casual and mobile. Among developers, there is a general agreement that while the cozy audience skews slightly towards women and girls, the genre's future demographic is unclear. For sure, plenty of men enjoy cozy games. Animal Crossing New Horizon players, gender split was about even, but online fan communities tend to be majority women. This is rarely true of other definable genres outside the mobile and online spheres. Cozy games like Animal Crossing are sometimes marketed to women. Nintendo booked ads for the game in women's magazines like Vogue, which traditionally carry little in the way of video game advertising. I have seen this discourse come up where broadly marginalized people expected to create nice content, says Ast, who estimates that 90% of the cozy gaming online forums she attends are made up of women. I would say cozy games fall into that. She adds, I did not specifically market Witchy Life Story towards women, but I can't control social media algorithms that pick up on their own cues. I would say that while cozy games are probably gendered now, that's more to do with some of the issues we are working through as a society. Ast has played games all her life and was a fan of horsey games as a girl. Cozy games, she says, are sometimes positioned as adult versions of those games. And while that seems like a retrograde interpretation of women and games, we have got to start somewhere, she says. In the past, almost zero games were marketed or made with adult women in mind. In the end, coziness is something that we all enjoy. Sometimes it's nice to have a break from playing Call of Duty and spending some time in Stardew Valley, says Trugov. A lot of people are comfortable making those jumps and playing a variety of games, depending on how they feel. A repeated refrain among developers is that the emotional resonance, pacing, and vibe are the most important features of a cozy game. Pacing is important, allowing the player to play at whatever pace they want, says Lescure. You feel like you are inhabiting a nice place, like you are on a vacation on a tropical island, and everyone is nice to you. Ast says that while designing Witchy Life story, she spent a lot of time and effort speaking to cozy games fans and influencers online. The takeaways I often get is that apart from a lack of violence, players want the freedom to do whatever they want. They see a world that they want to inhabit, and then they want as much as freedom as possible, especially to be creative and sharing. Pastoral aesthetics and chill music help to establish that vibe. For Tatnil, cozy vibes extend towards from the games themselves. Players spend time in the game interacting with characters who are warm and welcoming, and that is also the sense I get from the community when they share their in-game creations. Giving players the tools to create stuff also allows them to gather and share and connect with one another. He adds people sharing what they are doing in the game means that they are sparking ideas with each other. It may be that the current rush of cozy games will come to be seen as a glut, but the satisfaction that such games offer players and the genre's capacity to grow gaming as a whole is here to stay. Now, developers are looking for ways to deliver wholesome, non-violent fun without rehashing the same gather and grow mechanics. They are moving in fascinating new directions. Adam Robinson Hughes' A Short Hike 2019 is a good example of a cozy game that's not about farming, but about open world exploration. My Time at Portia is a classic farming game but set in the aftermath of an apocalypse. Both Grace, Nomada Studio, and Spiritfarer Thunder Lotus games are low peril, non violent games that explore the problem of grief with great sensitivity. Witchbeam's much admired Unpacking is a story about love and relationships wrapped up in a light home decoration, moving house puzzles. Islanders is a cute game that cozifies the SimCity urban planning model. Cozy Grove follows a similar model to Animal Crossing but offers a spooky narrative. Stardew Valley creator Eric Barron, aka Concerned Ape, is currently putting the finishing touches to Haunted Chocolatier. It has an eminently cozy profile. Player runs a chocolate shop, but the developer says he wants to explore more fantastical possibilities than in his previous work. Strukov says you can feel a community of gamers that is growing who aren't only interested in farming games but want all kinds of games that help them relax and that aren't violent. I think it will be cool when those kinds of games are no longer seen as being outliers but as central to gaming. As adds, if you are making one of these games, there's a pretty decent chance that social media influencers will reach out to you. They are looking for this type of content. I know there's a lot of these games right now, but it's not like there is 700 of them coming out every day. Tatnell concludes, there's definitely a dominant style in cozy gaming, but I have seen more and more games that are moving outside of that and pushing in new directions. The more saturated the market becomes, the more we'll see new ways to get to that welcoming, relaxed atmosphere that defines cozy games.